We'll have much more on that new Corvette later on in First at 4, so be sure to stick around for that. You hear a lot about the negative effects our pop culture-driven society has on kids. There just aren't a lot of positive role models out there anymore. What most kids really need, though, is a friend, one that has their best interest at heart. Danielle McInerney is the executive director of Big Brothers Big Sisters of West Alabama, and she's here to tell me more about it. Danielle, thanks so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me. Big Brothers Big Sisters, first of all, I just started August 1st as their new director, and it has been quite a learning experience.
Is that your cue to me not to ask you any tough questions?
No, yeah, exactly. You can only ask me these few questions.
There we are.
No, but I had so much to learn. I still have so much to learn, but it amazes me, and you know, I've said this to people before, it frustrated me when I first got there and realized that there is so much that has been going on that people are doing for these littles, which is our young children in our program. And the littles are ages 6 to 18. And outside of, you know, my world and my everyday living, I didn't realize, A, that these amazing people were making such a difference, but I also didn't know the tremendous need here in West Alabama for mentors in these children's lives. And that was shocking.
Now, and it's bigs and littles, and,
yes.
and bigs are the people that volunteer to be a big brother,
yes.
big sister. And it's really not as involved and complicated as people think that it might be. It's basically, you're their friend, right?
Exactly. We ask, the most involvement is when you come in for an interview. If you want to volunteer, you call us and you set up an interview. You come in, talk with our coordinators. From there, they will match you with a child that has similar interests. If you like basketball, they're going to get you with some, you know, a boy that likes basketball. And we keep the male bigs and the male littles together, and female and bigs and female littles. But they match you, and then we ask that you spend an hour a week with the child. You don't have to, you know, some people want to go and spend 4 hours. They're so excited and fired up, but we ask that they don't do that, because if you sit there and invest, you know, the first 2 months you're going gangbusters and your life changes and you have to cut back on some of the things you do, the child takes it as them. You know, what have I done wrong? They used to want to spend a lot of time with me, now they don't. So we say pace yourself. So it's an hour a week.
Stay consistent.
Yeah.
Now, if people are interested in becoming a big, like you said, there's an interview, it's just an hour a week. What else do they need to be aware of?
Well, we do background checks. We have to do that, unfortunately, in this day and age, but we need to have the safety of the children at, first on our mind. And so they would just come in, it's an hour and a half, they do the background check. We have things that we give if you're community-based big. That is where you can pick up the child and go to the movies, go bowling. We have match events throughout the year for all our bigs and littles. If you're a school-based, then you go into the school and just go to the library. You know, might read with them, talk with them, PE or lunchroom. But we have events throughout the year that you can take your little to. Christmas parties, pool parties, bowling parties. So that's really the basics of it. But you know, once you start with the week and you start to get each other's interests, and you know, people go to All Fired Up and they do pottery. We've done that as an activity before. But you kind of just go and what works for you two. Sometimes it's just running errands together, and that's the fun. So.
All right, super. Danielle, thank you so much for being with us today. You can find out more about Big Brothers Big Sisters. And don't forget, they've got a fun event for a fundraiser coming up. It's called the Krispy Kreme Challenge. You can find out more about that by calling 205-758-5734 or online at bbswestal.org.